Good morning, everybody. How is everybody today? And we're back in the world of the long dark. Now, last time we were here, which was yesterday morning, I had 2 dead bodies awaiting discovery. 1 stabbed wolf and 1 shot stag, which I hope to be able to find today. Now, arguably to some extent I did in fact and deliberately antagonize the wolf into attacking me, which may not have been the best idea in the world. But it might actually have made things a little safer for me in that particular region. It would have been better, of course, had I actually been able to shoot it, but I missed, because that happens, even at point blank range. So, as I remember, the weather was not actually particularly conducive to wandering around looking for dead bodies, but, well, let's see. And we do the usual. Oh, I need more water. Ah, yes, because Good morning, Taylor. How are you doing today? Glad you managed to catch this one. And I'm just trying to remember everything I was doing yesterday morning. And also, oh, that's terrible English. Also, why is it I am so encumbered lately? Well, I can harvest that. Oh, it's midday. So there are a few things I would like to achieve today. One is find a dead wolf, one is find a dead deer, one is find another source of rabbits, because I seem to have wiped out... Yeah, this isn't going to work. No, this is... Yes, in fact, I think this is what I observed yesterday. This is not good weather for wandering around. Simply because of the complete lack of visibility. The wolf I plinked yesterday was the one that roamed beyond these 4 trees, which I think are birch trees, actually, now that I come to think of it. No, they're not. Which makes, in principle, this particular region... Yeah, you can see I was here earlier. Which makes, in principle, this a moderately safe place to be. But I was unable to see any suitable unexpected mounds in the snow, and it's completely unsuitable for crows. Oh well, I shall try not to get into any situations whereby I have to get excited. And thank you for the compliment. You've missed some fun. I am here in Pleasant Valley. I shot my first bear. Just over there, actually. He should be respawning soon. I'm not sure if I want to shoot him again. I got very, very lucky last time. I shot him how do I put this delicately, right up the backside as he was walking away from me. That is a story I am going to be repeating, probably, on numerous occasions, because I was amazed at how well that worked out. In fact, I have his meat laid out somewhere. I spent the better part of 2 days in-game cooking him. So I have meat for a while. And I have his hide curing here, so within the next day or so, real time, I should be able to make myself a bearskin coat, which will be interesting. So what am I going to do while I wait for the weather to improve? That's the question. You know, I could take a nap, I suppose. Help pass the time in a meaningless fashion. Oh, I hate it when that happens. Sorry, that's a reference to the mouse cursor floating aimlessly off the screen. Yes, I think it does. My observation certainly is that it doesn't help. One thing I do not recommend necessarily, though, is if you have a fresh carcass like a rabbit, don't leave that outside. I have had wolves steal those. At least, that's my interpretation. And we are no better off. Drat. I mean, it doesn't seem to get any worse. You see, this has actually been out here for several days, and it's all fresh. The venison is gamey, but that stayed that way. That became that way after cooking. I think I found that a rancid deer, and when you cook it, it improves its quality somewhat. Do I have any deer left around the other side? I don't think I do. No, I've eaten it all. Oh, things are clearing. Probably not enough to get the crows out in a useful fashion. I'm trying to remember where the bear was. I think he was sort of over there. The downside to this area is that sneaking up on the bear isn't so easy. I got, I think, very, very lucky. But it was one of the few reasons I actually used the rifle. Last time I did that was to shoot a moose, which took me 6 rounds, I think, before I finally got it. And as usual, seems to be, for me, it charged me at, and I shot it at point blank range. Of course, what I should have done was actually check my statistics to make sure that that wolf was really dead, but given that I elected to stab it when it attacked me, I feel there's a very good chance that it's dead. My experience has been when you stab a wolf, it goes off somewhere and bleeds out. But hello? What was that? Did I hear a twitter or something? Now, the mechanism of keeping things in the cold is one I saw many years ago during the COVID pandemic, when I watched an inordinate amount of YouTube and the BBC. I once sat down and binge watched through the entirety of Silent Witness. Not sure whether that kept me sane or not. Well, seeing as I'm here, let's see whether... Aha! Ooh, that's promising. This is in the rough direction that I shot a deer. I did track it, and literally as I watched, the blood trail and footprints died out, so obviously I didn't follow fast enough. What are they appealing to? Oh, is that a dead body down there? Yes, but I think it's human. Not looking for human corpses. Looking for deer corpses. Shot the deer here and it ran off over that way. Oops, apologies for the swoopy screen. Well, let's have a little look. Good morning, Anna. Oh, yes. A previously undiscovered corpse. Not helpful, but I got... Let's grab a feather or two. Any more feathers? No. I hope you're feeling better, Anna. Shaking off the last of that cold. You can always hope. So that's the crows behind me. And now I'm hoping I'm going the right way. I should be. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. This is not the right way. This takes me back home, so I need to head back this way. Irritating. Well, as you may have noticed, I didn't live stream last night. To be honest, I was surprisingly tired, so I didn't. Yeah, it's now getting too late. I should head back. Might be worth a quick check anyway. There's the sole remaining deer in this region. There was a buck and a doe, and I'm afraid I took the buck. Oh no, it's a wolf! I thought that was something else. It's a wolf. I did not know there was a wolf there. Oh, that's going to make things problematic. Yeah, I'm hoping the minor break did me a bit of good. Yeah, this is potentially problematic. This is the right general area for that deer to have. In fact, it did go this way. And now there's two problems. One is that potentially that wolf could have gotten to the carcass before me. And in fact... no, I don't think that's it. So there's a very good chance I'm going to have to take care of that. Unless, of course, the deer doubled back on itself, which I have seen them do. In fact, the only deer I was able to literally track from shooting to death literally did double back on itself. And I don't know if that's a game mechanic or something else. Ooh, no, it's the same one. All right. Now I'm all turned about. Yeah, this way. I have no particular objection to collecting wolf skins. I do need one, as a matter of fact. My wolfskin coat is not in the best condition, although I should be able to replace it with a bearskin coat. That's actually the first time I've seen that wolf over there, and I spent quite a bit of time in that region. Well, hopefully, if I am discovered on Twitch streaming this, I don't get the usual attempts at people selling me goods and services. As Anna will probably attest, that's been a thing lately. I've had 3 people engage me on Twitch during a live stream, and all of them wanted to sell me overlays, animations, that kind of thing. What is really amusing is, as far as I can tell, all 3 basically state that their intent is to try and help streamers, and yet, as far as I can ascertain, none of them have done any streaming. I'm very tempted, as time goes on, to get ruder and ruder, or should I say more and more rude with them, but that's not really my style, at least. I definitely have got to go up there some point, just because. So my understanding, roughly, and I think it was Bubba who told me that, is that the bear does spawn somewhere in the region of that bridge. What I find interesting, Anna, and I can't remember if I've said this before, so apologies for any potential repetition, is you get Twitch seems to be more of a wild wasteland in terms of being spammed. So you get people trying to sell you goods and services. Don't get that on YouTube. I've never gotten that on YouTube, not during my brief history of live streaming. I also don't get the inevitable, for cheap viewers, go to this location, please remove the space. I get that just about every single stream on Twitch, and I don't get it on YouTube. So YouTube does in principle seem to be somewhat more civilized. Although rather amusingly, at least 2 of the people who tried to sell me goods and services are now following me on Twitch.
Find something to eat.
Oh, maybe they found the excellence of my... Oh, hang on, let's get rid of the venison. So hopefully they determined that I was worth listening to, and even if they couldn't sell me anything. That would be somewhat amusing. I've lost an arrow out here somewhere. I still have another arrowhead, so I'm still better provisioned with arrows than I have been at any point in the game. There's an interesting little thing. On the way to the town, you come across a target with arrows sticking out of it, which was profoundly useful, because they had, for some unknown reason, been shooting broadheads into a target, which isn't generally recommended. And despite the cost, perhaps, both in time and finance, they left the arrows behind. I actually have a theory about bows and arrows and their relation to why they were abandoned in medieval warfare to firearms. The common idea is that firearms required less training. Now, I've seen on YouTube people going through the mechanics of using early firearms. It's, in order to be safe, it is quite elaborate, and I can only imagine that the training would be quite extensive. I mean, you'd have to really train the people to do it. Mind you, this could easily be why firearms didn't immediately take over, but I have, and I will happily admit that that's a distinct possibility. Firearms were short-term. Might have required longer-term immediate training, but short-term, more immediate effect, so to speak, in terms of that training. However, I think there is another explanation, and that is cost and bulkiness and the sheer awkwardness of transporting tens of thousands of arrows to war. When the English invaded France, they took cartload upon cartload upon cartload of arrows to keep their archers supplied. Now, each arrow weighs about 1/4 pound, and to make a war arrow is not simple. You have to have a suitable straight length of stick. It has to be thick. Ideally, it has to be barreled. That is, it's slightly narrower at both ends and thicker in the middle. You have to have somebody make the arrowhead. You have to have somebody fletch the arrows, and the fletching was of goose feathers. That's a lot of geese that you have to strip the wing feathers from to do it is a significant amount of work in making an arrow. So you've got the cost of making the arrow, because you require 3 different people. I think it's 3. You need a blacksmith, you need a fletcher, and I'm not sure if the fletchers actually made the arrow shafts themselves. You've got the people who are making the charcoal to make the arrows. You've got the people who have to mine the iron. It's a huge amount of effort to create the massive amount of arrows required for a relatively small number of archers. I think at Cressy, one of the battles, they had only, in quotes, 7,500 archers, each one typically at a fairly slow rate, going at about 4 shots a minute. Yes, they could go faster, by the way, but 4 shots a minute might be sustainable. If you watch a modern archer with a heavy-duty war bow, the amount of effort they put into it is really quite remarkable. So, what would be the advantage, you may ask, about firearms? Now, the production of the firearm itself is going to require a fairly skilled blacksmith, someone to make the gun barrel. You're still going to have the charcoal requirements. You're still going to have the mining requirements. What it comes down to then, however, is once the firearm is produced, making the ammunition is, well, for lead balls, is relatively straightforward. You melt down lead and you can literally drop it through a sieve into water from a great height, and it naturally forms spheres on the way down. But more importantly, from a point of view of logistics, it takes up a heck of a lot space, a heck of a lot less space. Tens of thousands of lead balls in barrels takes up a lot less space, and for equal quantities less weight than the equivalent number of arrows. And so I can't help but wonder if the logistics of transportation aren't part of the reason why firearms became more and more prevalent. But obviously it's complicated. These things always are. But I've not really seen a decent financial breakdown of the comparative costs. Also, I say also, and actually the rate of fire, you might, with something like a Brown Bess musket, you could manage 3 rounds a minute. Now, that is sustainable over a long period of time, whereas 4 rounds a minute with a 130-pound draw weight warbow is not really that sustainable over a long period. You know, like I say, the amount of effort required to draw a 130-pound bow, and some of the war bows were significantly heavier draw than weights than that. They went up to 160 or 180 pounds. Yeah, I've got a suspicion long-term firepower might actually favour the something like a musket. Not so sure about an arquebus. That's a slightly different argument. I mean, I can easily see 2 rounds a minute with an arquebus. Not so sure about 3. An arquebus does have... Actually, do you know what? I suspect 3 rounds might not be impossible. And of course, the arquebus, arguably, has the benefit that it will whip through armour much more easily than an arrow would. So you got cost, effectiveness, and I doubt you're really sacrificing rate of fire. But I am speculating, obviously, on the rate of fire. You would have to do some serious in-depth investigation. What do they call it? Experimental archaeology. Where did my mouse cursor go this time? To confirm that. But the anti-armor things from something like an arquebus, yeah, my goodness, those things, yeah, would smack through plate armor, I think, fairly readily. They're traveling about 1,000 feet per second, and you're talking about a fairly massive chunk of lead. The muzzle velocity is, oh grief, 3, maybe 4 times that of a bow. So, and that's assuming, by the way, they just use straight lead. I don't know at what point people found out that you could harden lead with the addition of, I think you could use tin or antimony, but you can actually harden lead, and that would go through armor even more easily. Right, there's my ramble about bows and muzzle loading early firearms. More or less done for now. Oh, let's hope tomorrow is somewhat better. Despite previous experience, I am not so keen to go hunting for dead bodies in the middle of a blizzard. Only time I ever did that was because I absolutely had to, and I was actually hunting cattails, so. I forgot to bring water up, didn't I? It's okay, I don't think I really need it. Let's just pass some time until I get tired enough to sleep. Oh, I was wrong yesterday, by the way. I thought my local grocery store had not included in my order a food processor. No, they did. I got a food processor. Only one I've ever owned in my life, but there are things I wish to do or experiment with. Yes, that is yes, that's precisely what I was kind of doing in stalker mode. Although actually it didn't quite work out that way. I had absolutely no choice. I haven't had to resort to that here in some time. Well, don't forget, there's hopes that Black Frost will be cooperative multiplayer, so that could make for some quite interesting streaming. Oh, do you mean you collect cattails in real life, or are you talking about in-game? Because you can technically eat cattails, it's just not quite in the way that they depict in the game. You have to dig up the roots, because they store their carbohydrates in the roots, and if you were a hunter-gatherer type, it would be a useful carbohydrate source in winter, but my goodness, you'd have to go through some effort wading in cold water. Alright, what do we... Oh! Oh, there are videos on YouTube about people eating cattails, I think. Or the roots. Or bulrushes, as we call them in this country. Aha! Aha! Okay, now I think it's too early for crows, but I'm not getting cold that quickly. It gives me something to do while I wait for the next life-threatening. Now, I've got things I want to do. I mean, one of my common lunches is spaghetti bolognese, and you can make halfway decent bolognese in about 10 minutes while the spaghetti's cooking, if you finally chop the Mirepoix. So a food processor would make that a lot easier. I also want to try making my own mayonnaise, and this particular food processor does come with a mayonnaise making device, which I shall have to experiment with. I'm sure you're not like that, Lama. Oh, that's definitely worth heading for. Definitely got to look up there. But I want my dead wolf. I want the wolf coat. Oh, grief. The dongs startled me. Sorry, Taylor, that was a moment of slight excitement as my alarm went off. I've never owned a deep fryer.
I could eat anything right now.
But I am eagerly looking forward to Black Frost, especially if the cooperative multiplayer is true. What I don't know how I'm hoping. I don't know what I'm hoping for with Black Frost. There's the possibility that the cooperative multiplayer will essentially mean converting your system into a server. A loft does that. Minecraft can do that. Or do I want there to be a shared server somewhere? With the understanding is that I don't know quite how that would work though. Where did that wolf go? I can hear crows somewhere. Oh, they're over there by the body. That's not helpful, crows. Could you please come and find my dead animals over here? Nice fresh wolf? Surely that's better circling over than a ages-old dead human corpse. Oh, thank you very much, Anna. I've actually tried, just for the heck of it, sharing myself, but I don't have quite the following you do. Who knows? Even if I get one person who comes along and decides they enjoy it, that will be worth it. One thing I forgot. Mr. Bear might be due for respawning soon. Okay. If this was Minecraft, I'd have a mod up for an in-game map. Ah, look! Wabbits! Wascally wabbits! What do you want to bet these are going to be the only 3 here? Of course, I'm just going to have to remember where they are now. Okay. Yes, I'm somewhat painfully aware that Mr. Bear is around somewhere. Might be. Nope, there. Got a suspicion there's only 3 rabbits here. Keep breaking me arrows. Well, yep, not exactly durable, are they? It should have shot again as it ran towards me. Oh no, that was terrible. Letting myself get distracted. Whoa, what the heck was that funny noise? Oh well. One is better than none, and to be honest, I don't need the meat, I just want the skin. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. Please don't tell me I'm just going to have to regard as lost. Can't have gone that far, surely. Over there might be interesting. If I get a longish range shot at the bear, I might be able to take cover. Oh, okay, I'm going to stash me rabbit and then head off to deer territory, I think. I don't know that I'm going to be any luckier, but it's worth a try. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that they can. I just find it interesting that every single wolf I've shot so far, I've actually found the body fairly close to where I did the unfortunate deed. Hmm. Oh, I'm sure some of them, I mean, in real life, some of them would survive. I've seen one picture of the rib cage of a deer, and not only did the deer survive the initial hit, it survived long enough for the arrow to be somewhat overgrown by fresh bone. Sometimes animals survive injuries that you would not believe. I'm heading completely in the wrong way, aren't I?
Weak.
Oh, that's promising. Oh, it looks like it finally updated this region to no longer be a rabbit spot. What I'm curious to know is, are there any birch twigs down here? Appears not. Haven't been able to find. I can't remember if I stuck it on my wish list of this other survival game that is incredibly hard. I think that would be fun to stream. It's I think in early access right now. I mentioned it, I believe, yesterday, day before. The whole goal appears to be to literally cross the map from one place to the other, and essentially if you do anything slightly wrong, you're dead. Apparently, even to make a fire, you have to position your sticks and tinder in exactly the right place for the fire to take. It sounds like it would appeal to Long Dark players, especially if they enjoy Misery, which I've never tried. But it would definitely be fun to stream, I think. Ooh. Ooh. Where? I hear crows. Please don't tell me it's the dead human again. Not seeing crows. I could hear them. I'm guessing that they were heading home. Definitely hear some. Because it might make for good streaming content. There's one reason. I'm still in the process of learning what makes good streaming content for me. Long dark, obviously. Sky, Children of the Light, apparently. I know I have at least one person who actually likes listening to me while they themselves are playing Sky. They listen to replays, I think. But it's an easy one to well, talk during the stream. Others not so easy. I should say good streaming content for me. Minecraft, I think I said this before, yeah, Minecraft would make for good streaming content for me, I think. I could talk endlessly about Minecraft or what I'm doing in Minecraft, and I don't even have to revert to talking about extemporaneous things. But, I don't know, Minecraft streaming seems... I'm going to have to look and see what the situation on Twitch is like. Because Twitch, I don't know, strikes me at least in principle as being a moderately good thumbnail for what is popular. Or ongoing, I should say, given that I'm clearly not massively interested in popular necessarily. Where's that? Where are those crows calling from? I can definitely hear them. And I would think I'm too far away. For it to be the body. But I can't see them. And my hearing isn't good enough to determine if there's directionality. Aha! What have... Oh, well. Now then, this could be interesting. Hello Cypher and Lion Gaming, how's the animation coming along? Aha! Oh ho. That's not helpful! I do not want another dead body!
Just what I need.
Yeah. Thanks, but no thanks, crows. There are videos, you know, Anna, of people using what I would call bulrushes and what you would call cattail roots. I mean, I suppose it's not something you would necessarily deliberately want to, but there's some interesting stuff. It's been a while since I watched it, but I think they were doing things like extracting the starch or making flour, that sort of thing. I can't remember if anybody tried them raw. My memory says they did, but yes, I know, but do you know what? I haven't needed reishi mushrooms yet. When I start running out of antibiotics, so... And I think I've got some on me. Ooh, I definitely wouldn't want to do that. I think I've mentioned before, but in reality, reishi mushrooms can actually seriously upset your stomach. They are really not what you would describe as edible. Added to the fact that technically reishi mushrooms don't exist this far north, and arguably they're not native to the United States. They certainly occur in parts of Asia and I think parts of Europe, but while they can be found in the United States, it seems that they are not endemic. This did not turn out to be the most positive of days. That's a wolf skin I'm missing. A deer I'm missing. Didn't go ahead and die in here, did you? That would be too convenient. I've checked in here before. How come I did not find the ammunition? And why would anybody leave a box of ammunition out in the open like that? Is that a rabbit? That's a wabbit. Wabbits! No, I haven't checked my snares. I ought to. So, white wascally wabbits. Oh, I've got to stop doing Bugs Bunny and not Bugs Bunny. Who was wascally wabbits? Was that Yosemite Sam or Daffy Duck or who was his other antagonist? Oh, grief, what was the name of the hunter? I can't remember the name of the hunter. Elmer Fudd. There we go. I think it was Elmer, wasn't it? Wascally Wabbit. You can see the kind of cartoon content I watched as a young person. Along with Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. Let's see if I'm interpreting my way to the right place. Elmer Thud. Nope. Probably ought to try and get a bit closer. Like that. Oops, forgot about the possibility of the bear. I'm never sure whether to call myself old or middle-aged. It's funny, you know, I remember certain groups of people claiming that child's cartoons would encourage violence. I'm not aware of anybody having been inspired to violence by child's cartoons. When I was, oh grief, this was back in the 70s, I want to say. There were two things that certain groups like to claim would lead people, especially children, astray. One of them was rock and roll, and of course rock and roll's been the bête noire for decades, over half a century. And the other one was comic books. In fact, I kind of wasn't allowed comic books except on sort of special occasions like Christmas, when I persuaded my grandmother to buy me my first ever copy of 2000 AD. I felt very daring, and I don't think we ever admitted to my mother that that's what I had got. And the interesting thing about that first issue of 2000 AD that my grandmother very kindly bought me was that if I had kept it, it might be worth a lot of money, because I think it was the first edition with Judge Dredd in it. So I don't know whether they did a reprint or how, but I remember a few years ago got the Judge Dredd books where they accumulated all the Judge Dredd comics, and I remember the first one. I remember having read it as a kid, so I actually had in my hands at one point something that would be really quite valuable these days. Of course, we had no idea at the time. Oh grief. I haven't seen them. I might have seen on Facebook Watch some more modern Tom and Jerry. They lack the panache of the old ones. But people have been blaming all kinds of things on bad influences of the younger generation. I'm not sure if I remember this directly or secondhand, probably secondhand, but I remember Elvis Presley and his gyrating hips were accused of undermining the moral fibre of the generation. Which is a hilarious concept. Oh, that's fine. I'm actually going to take a quick break, as I usually do, because I've been streaming for 64 minutes. So I will be back in 3 or 4 minutes. Don't go anywhere. I am not going away for very long. I'll see you all shortly. As soon as I can figure out where my keys are on the keyboard. Nope, it's not that one. There we go. And I'm on my way back. Especially if I can figure out... There we go. What I'm doing. What am I doing? I am doing interesting things with rabbits. What was I saying? Oh yes. The funny thing is that I think we've got complaints dating from the Roman? I want to say Roman. It's either Roman or Babylonian era, and I could be confusing this use. And in that particular writing, the person in question was bemoaning the younger generation, complaining about, I think they were less respectful or something than his generation. So we have good evidence that the idea that the younger generation is somehow not as good as the previous one goes back a long way, and I don't think it's actually true, because we don't really see that. I've even been known to say to my son, and for context, my son is half Chinese. I think that his generation and his children's generation will be better off when my generation is dead and gone, because my generation grew up in the born in the 60s, grew up in the 70s and 80s, and it was still a racially intolerant and other intolerances generation. And so for my son, it's going to be quite considerably better when my generation is dead and gone, and possibly the one that came after it. I cringe at some of the things that were said and done when I was a kid. Oh, I forgot to cook water. Silly me.
I'm gonna have to leave something behind.
Right. I've got water on me. Let us get some venison. Or bear. Oh, I'm in the wrong place for my bear. Bear meat, of course, is what I was referring to. One day I'll just go straight to the bedroom. There isn't one in here, is there? No. Oh, there is. Huh. Still, this is the one I'm using, so this is the one I'll stick to.
Something's gotta go.
Right. So, first thing in the morning, go check the snares. Second thing in the morning, and at the same time, keep an eye open for that bear and make a decision whether I'm going to try and shoot it, this time with a bow and arrow. Third thing, keep an eye out for crows that might lead me to my missing bodies, which makes me sound like a botched serial killer. I shouldn't laugh at that, really. That's potentially very poor taste. Oh, I did drop water. I was wondering where it went. Well, the good news is I'm not hearing the howling of a blizzard outside. At least I think that's good news. I need to drop. Let's start. Do I have a stash of... Ooh. My black bear hide is nearly cured. Do I have a stash of torches anywhere? Was I sufficiently preparatory to doing that? Apparently I was not. Let us stash a few torches here. Where's my torches gone? I know I have more than one on me. No. Ah. Oh. Yes, well. This is what you would call not conducive to wandering around randomly. I mean, yes, I've done it, but, to be honest, only out of necessity. Definitely not something I would encourage. I can't even see where the wolves' trees are. Yep, and it is bordering on the ferociously cold. Drat. Well, let's see if I need anything repairing. Nope, my deer hide is... Oh, come on. Maybe if I pace backwards and forwards anxiously, my black bear hide will become tanned. I'm slightly surprised you're in the house and I can't hear the storm outside. Nope, not even slightly. What shall I do? How can I pass some time? I could do the inevitable and... Oh, do I have any books to read? Ah, now that won't be... Let's have a look what my book situation is. And my weight situation. Oh, I'm carrying the rifle. That wouldn't help. Yes. 8 or 9 pounds of rifle definitely doesn't help. I'll probably drop the stones. Let's salvage this. I need some birch sticks. Need to find some of those. Unusually for me, my charcoal supply is relatively low. Oh, let's clean it. Oh, I really ought to unload it before I do this. And let's give the revolver a clean. I do know that rifles, when they get in poor condition, can actually start jamming on you. I had that happen once. Might as well get the revolver up to peak condition. I have another firearms cleaning kit. Oh, charcoal, I don't need it. I've got piles on the floor somewhere. Right, firearms are in tip-top condition. Where's my charcoal pile? I've always got a charcoal pile somewhere. There we go. There we go. Charcoal is not a problem. And it has not improved greatly out here. Yep, and it's still freezing cold. Well, that was a thoroughly boring day. Hang on a second, where did my... oh, there. I have got to look and see if there's a way to keep this screen mouse safe. Rather amusingly, I have been tramping around in crampons this entire time, and they are still at 100%. Oh, and sorry, I might as well let's harvest my shirt, because I'm not doing anything with that. Oh, and here is my usual best viewers. I don't want to dignify it by saying advertisement on Twitch. I wish I could find a way to block that. Oh, that's interesting. The moose hide satchel can wear down. Huh. That's interesting to know. What else do I need to fix? Well, everything could actually use a bit of a fix, so maybe I will. Where's my inevitable cloth supplies? Do a little bit of constructive repair.
I need to find food.
Failed? Good grief. Oh, I definitely want to repair that. How many times can you fail to repair with an 85% chance of success?
Could eat anything.
Okay, getting somewhere. Yeah, that doesn't matter. I can worry about that later. Ooh, good, it's nice and dark. How about that? I actually found my way to the bedroom straight off the bat. Oh, and what did I forget to get? Anybody want to hazard a guess? What I just completely forgot to do. Yes, I forgot to get food.
Gotta eat some.
One day I will get this order of doing things done correctly. Where's the stairs? I know you're here somewhere. Oh, you're right there. Hopefully. Nope. Oh, come on. Am I going to have to light a torch to try and find my stairs? Oh, come off it. Oh, it's round here, isn't it? Talk about your average silliness. Now, can I get the right door? That's the basement. I normally come in this way, so it should be... Where's the door gone? And of course it's going to be completely pitch black outside. Oh, not too bad. Oh. At least the weather hasn't gotten worse. Whoops. Always do that. Now I can only think that there is a very, very good chance that bear will have respawned now, so... Yes, I did get the rabbit off the porch and I butchered it and harvested, and you know what I forgot to do? Drop the skins. I'm stinky. Oh, that's not helpful. I swear this guy has sleep patterns like mine now. Right, 133 days in. Not too shabby. I'm even good for water. Oh heck, where did that go? Oh, it went over there. I'm gonna have to look up and see if there's a Reddit or something about how not to lose your mouse cursor in the long dark. They'd probably suggest something like don't use more than one screen, but I'm sorry, this is too useful. Yes, drop rabbit and guts and what do we think? 99% cured. 99%. Okay, doesn't matter. I'm still looking good for a bearskin coat. Right. Let's take a deep breath. Go see what it's like outside. Yes, okay, that is better. So, oh, that's interesting. There's a deer over there. Right where Mr. Bear likes to roam. And there's a pack of timber wolves over there. Well, I've got 50 rounds of revolver ammunition. That might dissuade them somewhat. Don't drat! I'm still stinky. Why am I still stinky? I do not wish to be stinky. What have I got on me that's making me smell? I mean, apart from the fact, of course, in reality, he hasn't taken a bath in... Oh, I've still got gut on me. Right. So we got a deer over there. I've got a timber wolf pack over there. And a possible bear down here. I mean, technically I ought to just stand around and see where and if the bear comes out. Never seen them that close before. Actually, I thought the timber wolves were more in that direction, but apparently not. So, where's a good place to go and look out for the bear? Because... you know what? How long ago was it? Oh, there's 4 of them. That cannot possibly be good. I wonder how many real-time days it's been since I shot the bear. Do you know what? It wasn't... It's obviously not today. It wasn't yesterday. It wasn't the day before. It's a very good chance he might have respawned. At this rate, those are actually going to get dangerously close. Which is not conducive to my state of nerves. And they are getting closer, are they not? Now, given that in principle they shouldn't attack me on the porch, I wonder if I can lure them. I wonder, are there any video games where a microphone is actually used in the game, not to talk to other players, but to make noise? That would be an interesting development. For some reason, my mind is saying there used to be something like that. It would be kind of useful to be able to jump up and down and make noise and say, "Come over here, wolves." Come, let me shoot you by the porch. Actually, I tell you what I could do is I could go pick up some fresh gut, make myself deliberately stinky, see what that does. Eee. I can't see them from here, that's the only problem. I need tactics. Which way is the wind blowing? You know what? I'm going to try this, just for the sake of it. Let's see what happens. Should have kept a couple of rabbits. Where's my... Yep. Have I got anything else which I could use to make myself more attractive to wolves? Over here. Fresh rabbit guts. Come on. Nice and tasty. Hello, how are you doing? I'm that girl. You join us just as I'm trying to lure timber wolves by hopefully being smelly enough to attract them. Slightly tempted to go closer, but I want to be able to retreat to that porch in a hurry, because I have had a wolf come at me with fairly determined intent, and did not attack me when I was on the porch. Not here, actually, in Mystery Valley. Don't know if timber wolves act any differently. Oh, and as Anna and I pretty much determined yesterday, timber wolves are sort of a subspecies of the grey wolf, but then I think they're all grey wolves, basically. Come on, guys. Far too far for a rifle shot, I have no doubt. Well, we, by which I mean me and my regulars, are doing well. How are you doing? This is slightly boring bit, so I'm just curious to see how they behave. I'm moderately certain if I got a bit close... Aha! Do we have... Of course, what would be really awkward is if... Oh, there's that fourth wolf. What would be really awkward is if one of them came round here all of a sudden, but... Ha ha ha! Well, that may or may not have been a good idea, and I can't see them now. Well, they're definitely close enough to be attracted by the sheer sight of me. Maybe I should wait a little longer. 1, 2, 3, 4. That seems to be all of them. Which way do I need to retreat? That way. Well, I'm sorry everybody, this is as exciting as it's going to get. Unless I get the bear over there as well at the same time. Sooner or later I'm going to have to deal with these guys. And as far as I know, the only way of permanently dealing with a timber wolf pack is to kill them all. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I typically stream at 9 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time every morning and at 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time in the evenings. Weekends are not scheduled, though I often do, but they tend to be more haphazard. The one exception in the last month or so to my streaming schedule was last night. I didn't stream last night. It turns out I needed my beauty sleep. Come on, guys. When are you going to get aggravated at my existence? Still a deer over there. The problem is, just because there's a prey animal in the region doesn't mean that there isn't something over there. Eastern Standard Time. Greenwich Mean Time is 5 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time. So my guess is at the moment it is 5:30 in the morning for you. Aha! Let's see. Come on. Yes, we have their attention. One down. Here comes another one. I ought to have called this Under Siege. Two down. And that broke him. What do you know, Anna? That worked. And I should... Drat. I should have... Oh, I just got the achievement. There will be blood. Defeat your first Timberwolf pack. I did it. I got it. I shouldn't laugh. I'm actually kind of sorry for the wolves. Well, that was 2 solid hits and 1 drop dead. I don't know, let's quarter it, it'll be quicker.
I'm gonna need to eat soon.
I'm sorry, I'm just somewhat surprised that it even worked. But it is quite gratifying that it did. Yes, I know, but I can't really blame the wolf. You know, it was just doing what came naturally. And while I can't guarantee I would feel the same way about every man-eater that came across my path, nonetheless, it's not the wolf's fault, you know. What am I still carrying that weighs so much? I'm carrying the meat. Right. Oh, I do have a supply of torches out here. That's good to know. I ought to have called this particular episode Under Siege. I may well change it. Because I literally at one point did say I was under siege by Timberwolves, and what happens? I'm under siege by Timberwolves, literally standing on my porch. Oops. Definitely a useful tactic. And before anybody starts saying that's a strategy, no, that's a tactic. The strategy was to defeat the Timberwolf pack. The strategy was the means by which I defeated it. I really get a little aggravated by people's inability to tell the difference between tactics and strategy. Right, so now that I'm really, really stinky, is there any chance I can repeat that process? That would be kind of amusing if I could. Here, boys. Come on. Two down. Come on, guys. Well, it's not so much common sense as having a certain empathy for nature or understanding. And a little part of me is more sympathetic towards the animal than they are the human. You know, we go into some part of the Sonoran Desert and someone gets attacked by a puma. You know, we're encroaching on their territory, not the other way round. This is as close as I wish to get because it worked last time, and this way I've got a nice clean route back. My major concern, strangely, is not the wolves, it's the bear respawning, and he oh, there's two deer over there. Yeah, let's try it. Now the problem with this is I can't see them too well. Still. It worked last time. Let's stick with the tactic that works, because they're getting closer. That one certainly is. You know what? This game would be awesome in VR. Only problem is a decent VR set for Linux costs a small fortune. Now, I think patience. Let's not. Let's not get above ourselves. Come on, guys. Smelly, tasty human right here. Tomorrow could be interesting. I mean, tomorrow in real time, not tomorrow in game time. What time is it? Oh, I've got 4 more minutes of this before I have to start thinking about going and getting lunch. Oh, wind's not coming from quite the right quarter. But I'm not inclined to push my luck. Patience is a virtue. Even in the long dark. Worked last time, after all. I'm going to be telling that story over and over again. I mean, that was better than shooting a deer in the bottom. A bear in the bottom and having it die on me just over there. Sorry, Anna. If I've learned anything about streaming, it is that in general 2 hours is my practical maximum. 3 hours is exhausting. And I do want to be able to stream this evening without feeling exhausted. Come on, guys. I just shot 2 of your pack mates. You've got to be irritated at me. Aha! Here we go. Here we go. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yep. Round 2. Round 2. Nope, didn't get him.
My stomach feels like an empty pit.
Yeah, here comes the other one. Come on. Whoa, what happened there? Uh-huh. It did a hit and run on me, and I was just close enough to be... That's interesting. They can slightly hurt you. Yep, minor bruising, no great damage. Gonna have to... Whoa! Huh! They can get you on the porch. That is interesting. I did not know that. Sorry guys, it's revolver time for you. Yes, they can. I didn't know that. Last 2 didn't. Hit him. I saw the blood splash. Ah, sorry. I must have missed that lesson. 1 down. Well, there's definitely blood there. Yes, I'm that girl. I streamed for about 2 hours, and I'm just going to now do tidy up and find out what it was that got damaged. That's okay. Ooh, that's okay. I can fix that. That's all right. That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. you know, I came out of that pretty good. My condition's not changed. I've got rabbit that will cure so I can fix everything. So, by tomorrow, they might all be dead. Let's make a note. Let's see, do they count wolves and timber wolves differently? Wolves killed. Okay, I'm up to 12. I'm going to make a little note of that because if tomorrow morning I take a look and that number has gone up, then I must be doing something right. Oh, that was exciting! I mean, that's about as exciting as it can get. Actually, the getting on the porch isn't too bad, because it leaves them with one avenue of approach, and my back bear hide is cured, so I'm doing moderately well. Right, let's are they still out there? No, I don't want to go to the basement. Okay. Yeah, that was the one I just shot, which I'm going to need. So. Yep. Right. This leaves us in a very interesting position for tomorrow. Whoops, sorry. So yes, I will see you all tomorrow morning and possibly this evening if anybody comes back. Now this evening I won't be running this game, but of the things I might stream, the other Long Dark, the one in Stalker mode, is more likely to what I run this evening. So that's 6 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time. I'd give you Zulu time, but I can't remember Zulu time. But if you look at my stream schedule, it should give you the next stream in local time, whatever your local time is, Eastern Standard Time. So anyway, thank you all so very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Glad that worked out in an interesting fashion. Tomorrow, mass skinning of wolves, collecting their meat, cooking meat, making a bearskin coat. And at that point, I might have enough wolfskins for, in principle, wolfskin pants if I can ever find the recipe for that. But I know I've got to go find the trader for that. So, I hope you all have a good day, and I will... Yes, 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anyway, I will see you all next time. If I can figure out how to stop the stream. I really